has led to genocide laid bare in Gaza. Denial of their...
An independent expert working with the United Nations top human rights body said on Tuesday that there were reasonable grounds to believe Israel had been carrying out genocide in Gaza. Francesca Albanese, the UN Special Rapporteur on the occupied Palestinian territories, accused Israeli military forces and government leaders of intentionally violating the laws of war and the protections they confer. Describing the violence in Gaza since the start of the Israel-Hamas conflict as genocide, she said it was the most extreme stage of a long-standing settler colonial process of erasure of the Palestinians.
I find that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the threshold indicating the commission of the crime of genocide against Palestinians as a group in Gaza has been met. Specifically, Israel has committed 3 acts of genocide with the requisite intent: causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, and imposing measures intended to prevent birth within the group.
The rapporteur added that in this darkest hour, the international community could no longer afford to ignore. Albanese, an outside expert who does not speak for the UN, made these remarks in Geneva, where she presented her report entitled Anatomy of a Genocide, which was first released on Monday.
In this darkest hour, the international community cannot continue to ignore that it's Israel's project to rid Palestine of Palestinians in defiance of international law and the world's failure to call Israel to account that has led to genocide laid bare in Gaza. Denial of the reality and the continuation of Israel's impunity and exceptionalism is no longer viable. Especially in light of yesterday's binding Security Council resolution, I implore member states to abide by their obligations, which start with imposing an arms embargo and sanctions on Israel, and so ensure that the future does not continue to repeat itself.
The report was drawn up under a mandate from the Human Rights Council, the UN's top human rights body, and provides some of the most methodical reasoning yet into claims of genocide against Palestinians raised by critics of Israel and others. The Israeli diplomatic mission in Geneva, where the council is based and currently in session, said on Monday that the report brought shame on the 47-country rights body and blasted Albanese for a campaign of delegitimizing the very creation and existence of the State of Israel. UN human rights officials have been careful to say that only a competent court can make the final determination about genocide, especially challenging during an ongoing conflict like the one in Gaza. Meanwhile, IDF operations continued in Gaza, resulting in heavy casualties. The Palestinian death toll in the Gaza Strip from ongoing Israeli attacks has risen to 32,414, the Hamas-run health ministry said in a press statement on Tuesday. During the past 24 hours, the Israeli army killed 81 Palestinians and wounded 93 others, it added. On Tuesday, the Israeli army released a video of airstrikes on Hamas targets in the Gaza Strip, claiming that in the past 24 hours, Israeli warplanes attacked more than 60 targets in Gaza, including underground tunnels and military facilities. Israeli troops also launched airstrikes in retaliation for rocket attacks by Palestinian armed personnel. Additionally, the Israeli army continued military operations in the area where Al-Shifa hospital is located in the northern Gaza Strip, resulting in the deaths of many armed personnel. The Israeli military said the operation inside Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza City is not over yet. Military spokesman Daniel Hagari described the raid on Gaza's largest health facility as the most successful operation since the beginning of the war. Hagari blamed Hamas for destroying the hospital, claiming fighters were firing from inside the Shifa emergency room and maternity ward and throwing explosive devices.
This operation isn't over yet. Right now, Hamas and Islamic Jihad terrorists are barricading themselves inside the Shifa hospital wards. Hamas is destroying the Shifa hospital. Hamas is firing from inside the Shifa emergency room and maternity ward, and throwing explosives devices from the Shifa burn ward. Terrorists hiding around the hospital are firing mortars at our forces, causing extensive damage to the hospital buildings.
Israel's military says it has killed more than 170 militants and detained about 480 suspects in the raid on Shifa Hospital that began last week. Independent, unverified videos emerging from inside the hospital showed fierce firefighting between Israeli soldiers and Hamas. Another video showed detained militants in a completely ravaged corridor of the hospital. The IDF also claimed it had killed Marwan Issa, deputy leader of Hamas's armed wing in the Gaza Strip, who helped plan the October 7th attack. Military spokesperson Daniel Hagari said that according to intelligence obtained by Shin Bet and the intelligence branch, Issa was killed about 2 weeks ago, along with another senior militant called Razi Abu Tamar. If confirmed, Issa would be the highest-ranking Hamas leader to have been killed in Gaza since the start of the war.
We are announcing that according to intelligence from Shin Bet and the intelligence branch, Marwan Issa was killed in an attack we carried out about 2 weeks ago, together with Razi Abu Tamar. Marwan Issa, deputy of Mohammed Deif, number 3 in Hamas, one of the planners of the October 7 massacre. Razi Abu Tamar, the former commander of the Central Camps Brigade of Hamas, is responsible for Hamas weapons for all of his formations.
Responding to the raid, Al-Qassam brigades, the military wing of Hamas, stated that its armed personnel hit Israeli soldiers with mortars and blew up Israeli military vehicles near Al-Shifa hospital and attacked 2 Israeli tanks with rockets in Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip, one of which was destroyed. The Al-Quds brigades, the military wing of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad movement, PIJ, said that it also raided Israeli soldiers and vehicles near Al-Shifa hospital on that day.